Ever wondered what is a bridge fuel and why it's important in today's world? Well, let's break it down together. The term bridge fuel refers to a type of fuel that serves as a transition, a bridge, if you will, from our current reliance on fossil fuels to cleaner, renewable energy sources. The goal of a bridge fuel is to minimize our environmental footprint while we take strides toward a greener future. It's about finding a balance, a way to power our society that doesn't compromise the health of our planet. This transition is crucial. It's not just about switching off coal and oil, but also about reducing greenhouse gas emissions and pollution-related costs. And it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Different countries with their unique resources and challenges may choose different bridge fuels. Now that we know what bridge fuel is, let's delve into why natural gas is often considered as a bridge fuel. Opening. Natural gas often considered a bridge fuel, but why is that so? Well, let's start with the basics. Natural gas, a non-renewable resource, is a fossil fuel. It's a cocktail of gases, chiefly methane, which makes up about 70 to 90% of its composition. Other components include ethane, propane, and sometimes impurities like carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, and nitrogen. So, how does this gas come into existence? Millions to hundreds of millions of years ago, remnants of plants and animals accumulated in thick layers on the Earth's surface and ocean floors. These layers, often mixed with sand, silt, and calcium carbonate, eventually buried under more layers of sand, silt, and rock. Over time, pressure and heat transformed this carbon and hydrogen-rich material into coal, oil, and, you guessed it, natural gas. Now, natural gas isn't used in its pure form. It undergoes processing to convert it into cleaner fuel for consumption. In this process, several byproducts are extracted, such as propane, ethane, butane, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen, which have various uses. Natural gas primarily serves as a fuel for generating electricity and heat. Its compressed form, known as CNG, powers vehicles. It's also used as fuel for boilers and air conditioners, and is a key ingredient in producing fertilizers, especially ammonia. Now, why is natural gas dubbed a bridge fuel? It's because it's cleaner than other fossil fuels, particularly coal. It emits 50% less carbon dioxide into the atmosphere than coal does. This makes it a more appealing choice as we transition from a fossil fuel-dependent energy system to a cleaner and more renewable energy economy. The idea is to use natural gas to bridge the gap between today's fossil fuel usage and the future's renewable energy sources. It's a step towards reducing greenhouse gas emissions and pollution-related costs, while we ramp up the deployment of non-polluting renewable energy. Closing. While natural gas has its benefits, it's important to also understand its limitations. Opening. Natural gas, despite its benefits, does have its downsides. Shifting gears to the less glamorous side of natural gas, let's talk about some of its limitations. First and foremost, natural gas is, at the end of the day, a non-renewable resource. What does that mean? Well, simply put, there's a finite amount of it on our planet. Once we extract and use it all, there's no more. The process of forming natural gas took millions upon millions of years, so it's not something we can just whip up in a lab. Another concern is the environmental impact. Yes, natural gas does burn cleaner than coal, releasing about half the carbon dioxide. However, half is not zero. The combustion of natural gas still contributes to the greenhouse gas emissions that are driving climate change. Moreover, the extraction process of natural gas is not without its environmental costs. The method commonly used, known as hydraulic fracturing or fracking, involves injecting water, sand, and chemicals into the ground to break apart rocks and release the gas. This process has been linked to groundwater contamination, air pollution, and even earthquakes. Also, let's not forget about methane, a primary component of natural gas. While it is true that methane burns cleaner than other fossil fuels, when it is released into the atmosphere unburnt, it is a potent greenhouse gas. In fact, methane is around 25 times more potent at trapping heat than carbon dioxide over a 100-year period. Additionally, the infrastructure required to transport and store natural gas can be costly and complex. Pipelines need to be built and maintained, storage facilities need to be safe and secure, and there's always the risk of leaks, which can be both dangerous and detrimental to the environment. In terms of energy independence, while natural gas reserves are abundant in some countries, others are not so lucky, leading to potential geopolitical tensions and reliance on foreign sources. Closing. So, is natural gas the ideal bridge fuel? The answer isn't as straightforward as you might think. Is natural gas the perfect bridge fuel, or is there a better alternative? This question has sparked a lively debate among experts and scholars alike. On one hand, natural gas, with its lower greenhouse gas emissions compared to coal and oil, is seen as a viable bridge fuel. It is a step in the right direction, away from our current heavy reliance on fossil fuels. With its abundant reserves and well-established infrastructure, natural gas seems like a practical choice. It provides us with a relatively cleaner fuel source, while we ramp up our efforts to develop and implement renewable energy technologies. On the other hand, some argue that natural gas, being a fossil fuel, is not a long-term solution. It still contributes to greenhouse gas emissions, albeit at a lesser rate compared to coal and oil. The extraction process, known as fracking, also poses environmental risks. Furthermore, the infrastructure required for its extraction and distribution is expensive and could divert resources away from investments in renewable energy. So is there a better alternative? The answer is not straightforward. Other potential bridge fuels such as biofuels, hydrogen, and nuclear energy have their own set of challenges and benefits. Biofuels, for instance, can be produced from waste materials, but their large-scale production could compete with food production. Hydrogen is a clean fuel, but producing it in a way that is environmentally friendly is still a challenge. Nuclear energy is a powerful source, but it comes with concerns about safety and waste disposal. The debate over the ideal bridge fuel is ongoing. But one thing is clear: the need for continued research and development in renewable energy sources is paramount. We need to keep pushing the boundaries of innovation to harness the power of the sun, wind, and water in a way that is sustainable and economically viable. While natural gas serves as a current bridge fuel, the ultimate goal is a transition to a fully renewable energy economy. It's a challenging journey, but one that is essential for the future of our planet and generations to come.